do you deal with the unruly people, the people that unfortunately they're throwing a lie at you, they're trying to get over on the business? How does Brad deal with that?
The customer's not always right.
Wow.
I'm kind of a dick when it comes to that.
For sure.
If my guys say we didn't break that, I'm going to believe my guys because I don't punish them. Mm-hmm. If they break something, come to me and tell me we broke this. Wow. So that we can get it taken care of before the customer gets here. I'm going to tell them, man, I'm really sorry. We broke this panel in your car. I got another one coming. And that's it. That's how I know if a customer comes back and says that wasn't there. My installer didn't tell me that he did that. Right. Well, it wasn't there. Yeah, I have an example. Great example. I put cameras up in my parking lot and inside the store.
Okay.
I had a car dealership customer from Cottage Grove. There's a bunch down there. I'm not going to say which one it was. The guy had brought a car in, dropped it off, had us do some stereo work. Next day, picked it up, took it back to his dealership. About an hour later, they call me and like, yeah, we got a problem. I was like, oh, well, what's up? Well, there's a big dent in the driver's door, on the bottom corner of the driver's door. And I was like, well, we didn't do that. He goes, well, it wasn't there before we dropped it off. I'm like, okay, let me look. He's like, look at what? And I was like, I'm going to look at the cameras. He's like, oh. And sure enough, I have a camera aimed right at the parking lot, and you see the car pull in, and you don't see the dent until the guy opens the door to get out. And when the reflection changes right, you can see the dent in the door.
Brad.
Close the door. We do all the work. We don't think about that.
Brad.
So I'm taking pictures and a recording of the video, and I email it to him, and I said, hey, man, that dent was already there. No, it wasn't. I said, dude, I have a video of the guy pulling in, and they're on speakerphone, right? So there's the manager and the guy that was driving the car, and he goes, I was the one driving the car. That dent wasn't there. I said, okay, I'll send you the video.
Wow.
5 minutes later, he calls me back. Yeah, man, I need to apologize. I'm sorry. That dent was there. We'll figure this out. Cool. So there is sometimes that they think that it was 100% somebody else's fault.
Brad.
But I just got lucky in that specific instance that you had the protection of a camera and video to show them, dude, that wasn't us. Mm-hmm. And there's worse ones than that. There's people that threatened to take me to court. We had a guy that had a Ford F-350 that we did some stereo work for, and he had a water leak, right? And he'd asked us to take all the stereo stuff out. We'd charge him, take it out. He would get the water leak, quote unquote, fixed, put it all back together. 6 months later, it was leaking again. And so he determines he has some other shop do it and says, well, whoever installed these amplifiers ran this wire right here, and this is where it's leaking. It's from that. So then he's like, you owe me $1,500 for all the time I went back and forth, pulling my stereo stuff out, putting it back in, all the detailing, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. So I just Google 2017 Ford F-350 water leak problems. Boom. Do it right now. Pull up on your phone. There's hundreds of people with the same problem.
So it's a manufacturer thing.
I just cut my losses. I said, here's your $1,500, and here's money for a new carpet kit, and don't ever come back to my shop.
Wow. And what was his response? Of course, took it and ran.
I'm never coming back to your shop.
Cool. Bye.
And it's one of those things. It's like, he has another shop say that it was this situation, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going off of what they said. I said, Google your make and model of your truck and just put water leak issues.
It's going to show you everything.
Everybody has that same problem on that truck.
Brad, it's so interesting. When I used to work in finance, it's crazy you say this story. When I used to work in finance, I've recently left the credit union, but I had somebody do that, not the person that was working with me, but the dealership. And just Desmond he's undercutting us because I always let people know. And it's so cool to hear you say this. Now I've translated this energy to the podcast and everything, but I've always told people when they came in to see me, I said, hey, look, if you're not feeling as comfy to do everything at the dealer, you can always come talk to us.
Yeah.
I know I'm the banker and you're comfortable with me.
Yeah.
Always would tell people, you have an option. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You have an option. And I had one time, this is crazy. Person goes to look, dealer calls my manager and is like, Desmond Reynolds is playing the system. He told the person we can't do no paperwork here. You got a bad salesperson. Oh, all these things, Brad. It was crazy. All just dragging my name. Talk about integrity, right?
Yep.
I come in. First thing they do, Des, we need to come talk to you. You got this big dealership. I won't say the name.
Yeah.
Big dealership saying all these things about you. I'm like, what? Brad, I get in my computer. Voicemail from the person, the lady that went to look at the car. Hey, Des, I went over there. Not a good experience.
Uh-oh.
I felt forced. I felt like they were pressuring me. To the point, I remember you said I have an option, but I'm just not even buying from them.
Damn.
Sent that to the manager. I'll never forget his response. He said, Silver Bullet, you're good.